Yo, what's going on, guys? The SSN back again with another video, and Jesus, this was a tough one, man. The Dolphins lost today. It was a tough game. It was a tough game for Miami going into Denver. We lost, and this is exactly why, guys. Kind of just jumping straight in to the video. This is exactly why in the video that I posted previewing this game is exactly why I said you just can't count teams out in the NFL, regardless of who they are, regardless of what their story is, where they are in the season when you're about to face them. You just can't count teams out, man, because anything can happen. And we saw that today, even with Drew Lock playing injured, even with the lack of certain players on their team. Miami just was not there. We just weren't there today. It was a tough watch. It was tough to see. There was just something off about this game for Miami, man. I don't know what it was. I don't know if maybe they were just tired from the travel or maybe they let the win streak get to their heads a little bit, and they kind of went into Denver not prepared and kind of just thought this is an easy win. We're just going to move on after we beat Denver. But something about the way that the Dolphins were playing, it just wasn't the Dolphins. It wasn't this year's Dolphins that we've been seeing so far. And that was from front to back, man. From beginning to end, the Dolphins did not play like the Dolphins, which was very weird to see. I didn't really understand it. The defense was non-existent. The offense was non-existent. And special teams, it's special teams. You can't rely on your special teams to get you turnovers or to get you touchdowns every week. Obviously, that's not a realistic scenario. So I don't even really know what to say, man. It was a tough loss. Denver played a very good game, and Miami played a very bad game, and that's why we lost. There could be plenty of things to go over, plenty of, I had a goods and a bads list that I do that for every week's worth of play for the Dolphins. But, honestly, after watching the game, I watched every snap. There just wasn't a lot of good to take away from the game. There were maybe one or two things. Devontae Parker had a solid game. He was catching everything. That was really nice to see. But aside from that, man, it was just a tough game. We couldn't get the ground game going. Tua was, just so bad. And that was one thing that I was surprised by. Tua just wasn't there. And that's just one of those things. It goes along with what I was saying. We just weren't playing like we have been playing. And that goes for Tua too. He just wasn't as accurate as he has been. He didn't look as comfortable as he has been. Maybe that has to do with his foot injury. But if you're out there playing football on a Sunday, you need to have your game with you, man. If you're not prepared, if your injury is bad enough that you can't play, stay off the field. Let someone else come in and play good football. But, it might not have been the injury. It might have been. We don't really know. But he was just off, man. Tua was not playing good football. I think, nearing the end of the third quarter of this game, the Miami Dolphins' total yards offensively were under 100. That can't happen. Situations like that's unacceptable. There's no excuse for that. And teams will beat you. The Jets will beat you if you're not putting up 100 yards into the third quarter, almost into the fourth quarter. Tua was bad enough that they eventually took him out and put Fitzpatrick in, which is just crazy. It was a crazy game, man. Could be injury related. He did have a nasty tie-up. He got sacked, and his foot got tangled up under the defender and looked like it could have hurt his ankle. I don't know, but I didn't see any medical evaluation going on the sideline. So it just kind of leaves a lot of questions in the air. Did they take him out because of his foot? Did he take him out because of the lack of offensive production? The offense was so bad today. It was just a weird game. And I know I've kept saying that, but I just don't understand what happened from last week to this week, because we've been playing really good football lately. We beat the Chargers, we beat the Rams, we beat the Cardinals, and two of those teams are good teams, very good teams with a lot of talent. And to go out and play the way that we played today, it looked like we just scrapped everything. There were barely any shots down the field, and when there were shots down the field, Tua wasn't hitting his mark. So it seemed like all game was just quick slants, cross patterns. It was just very weird. It was a lot of screens, a lot of Adam Gase-looking offense. That's what drove me freaking nuts. It looked like Adam Gase was coaching the offense again. It was just a bunch of dink and dunk. Hey, we got a 2nd and 15. Let's throw a quick screen and let the guy try to do something. What are you going to gain out of that, man? I mean, what are you really going to gain out of a play like that? I don't know. It was a weird game altogether for Miami. We got stomped. Denver did whatever they wanted. I'm just even talking about the offense right now. Oh, man, the pass rush for Denver was so just on its game. I don't know what happened. Our offensive line could not block. Tua and Fitzpatrick together after Fitz came in, they were on the floor way too much. Way too much. Probably the dirtiest jersey on the field were our quarterbacks. That can't happen. Absolutely not. And it doesn't matter if we have rookies starting. If your rookies aren't good enough to pass block, take them out. Because we have to protect our quarterback or else you're not going to be able to get anything going. Our run blocking was horrific. Our pass blocking was horrific. Our passing was horrific. The play calling, horrific. I don't know what was going on. I really don't. Defensively, equally confusing story. I don't know what happened defensively. Our secondary couldn't cover. Our defensive line, I mean, may as well have not even been on the field. I could do a better job against the offensive line, man. It was so bad. Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay they were rushing for whatever they wanted. I mean, they were both over 5 yards to carry this game. It was just a strange game. No pass rush at all. And that's weird because our pass rush has been very good over the last 3 to 4 weeks. Our pass rush has been very, very good. Since we played LA, really, we've just been on point with getting after the quarterback. For whatever reason, we couldn't get after Drew Lock. I mean, I think a couple of times in the first half we got after him. But pretty much it was non-existent, which is surprising because Denver doesn't even have that good of an offensive line. Their left tackle's good, but the rest of the offensive line, we should be able to get some pressure. We should be able to be putting his Drew Lock on his butt every once in a while. But it seemed like he had, a perfectly clean jersey all game. There was no pass rush. And when you can't pass rush, the receivers are going to be open. If you can't get after the quarterback and create some pressure, I don't care who you have in your secondary, they won't be able to cover as long as we were having to get our guys to cover for. I don't care if we have Xavier Howard. I don't care if we have Byron Jones. You could have Deion Sanders out there. He's not going to be able to cover any wide receiver for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. That's just not, it's not a reasonable expectation to put on a secondary, in total. It's just, it was a frustrating game. Nothing was going right for Miami. It is what it is, but, we have an opportunity. The Dolphins have an opportunity as a team to, instead of get, pissed off about this one and let it get the best of them, they have the opportunity to take it on the chin and just kind of own up to, we made a lot of mistakes. We did a lot of things wrong, but this could be fuel to the fire to go out next week and ball out and play really well, because the next few games that we have opportunities to win some games. And like I said, you can't count teams out, but we have teams towards the lower tier of the league right now. We've got the Jets, we've got the Bengals. And then beyond that, guys, we really need to rev up because we've got the Chiefs. We've got the Patriots again, who are always a tough play. I don't care how bad they are. They're division rivals. They're always going to play us well. And then you've got Las Vegas, and then you've got Buffalo. So we have a lot of good teams coming up towards the end stretch of the season. We need to ramp it up. We need to solidify the play calling. We need to solidify the consistency in our game on both ends, because if we don't do that, we're just going to even out. It's going to wind up being another 8-8 season. It's going to wind up being another 7-9 season. It's just going to be, that's exactly what it's going to be. So this is an opportunity for the Dolphins right now to take this one on the chin, make adjustments, and let this be fuel to the fire. Come out next game being nasty. We have to be nasty, and that's one thing that I wrote in my notes. It seems like the last handful of weeks, we've been aggressive, we've been ugly, we've been nasty, we've been mean, and that was gone. It's like we were playing our buddies out there. Phillip Lindsay rips off a run for 30 yards in the first half, and Bobby McCain's patting him on the helmet. Like, what are you doing? You don't need to be patting him on the helmet. Hit him hard. You got to go out there and play with some competitive spirit here. You're not going to tap the guy on the helmet after he rips off a huge run on you. Like, that's not your buddy right now. You might be friends off the field, but right now, that guy is your opposition. He is your competitor. He is someone who's trying to beat you, and you are not supposed to be out there buddy-buddy with this guy after he's ripping you for huge gains. And that happened all game long. all game long, man. Denver, I mean, it seemed like every other play was a 15, 20, 25, 30 yard. There was a 40-yard, 41-yard reception in the game. It seems like every other play was just a big gain. And we just couldn't slow Denver down. And for Denver as an offense that has been so, I mean, they've been struggling so much. They're one of the worst teams in the league early on in games in terms of points, in terms of offensive production. They did whatever they wanted. Maybe not the highest point count. Maybe they didn't put up the most points in the world. But the fact that they were able to go out and do whatever they wanted, and when you're looking towards the end of the third quarter and they have like triple the amount of yards that we do, it's just not a good look for a Miami team that's been on a hot streak. It is not a good look because the Dolphins lately in the last handful of years have had this tendency to get real streaky. They'll hit 4 or 5 games of playing extremely solid football, and then it tapers off, and then you wind up at another 8-8 season. So, like I said, guys, this could be fuel to the fire. I'm hoping that Flores can get into the locker room tonight after the game, and then for the week to come, and just inspire these guys, kick their butts, and tell them we cannot put out a game like that again. We can't afford to, because we've got a lot of tough games coming up. And if you guys want to be productive, if you want to win football, then you need to play better than that. So it could be an opportunity to go out there and let this fuel the fire to play some seriously hard football and really just bust our butts to just kill it, man, because that's what we need right now. We can't take a win like this and get down about it. Can't let your head, get down about this, because that's when you start to have that losing mentality and you can't get past it. So, guys, that's the video. It was a tough one. We take it on the chin and you move on. You go every week. You can't look forward to, okay, well, we have, we won this amount of games, so now we feel great. You have to take it every week like you're at 0-0 starting the season. So hopefully that's what the Dolphins do. It's a tough one, like I said, but we have an opportunity to just hit the reset button and do it right next week and the week after and the week after, and keep competing for that wild card spot, because we could compete. I mean, we could even compete for the division, but at the rate that Buffalo's playing as well, we are in serious competition for a wild card spot. So it's a possibility. We have potential. We can do it. We just need to get all the pieces together. So that's what I have to say about the game, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate all the support. If you like the channel and you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. Hit the bell icon for notifications and like the video if you like the content. We are on our road to the first 1,000 subscribers of the channel, which is super exciting. And, I've been announcing this almost every video. I have a lot of sick updates for the channel, a lot of new introductions, new things that I'm going to do in the channel, new types of content that I'm going to introduce, and like a bunch of other stuff that I'm not telling you guys right off the bat when we hit our first 1,000 subs. So if you guys want to, get into the new stuff that I've got, all the exciting things that I have coming your way, subscribe, help me grow, and then we will get there. And I've got a lot of sick stuff coming your way, guys. So I appreciate all the support. Enjoy your night, guys. I will catch you very, very soon with some predictions, analysis, and then some other stuff too. So have a great night, guys. Enjoy your week. And as always, fins up.